In this lesson, we're going to have a look at the mathematical technique of completing the square and look at the different things that completing the square can be applied to. So first of all, what is a complete square? Well, a complete square is a bracket that looks like that. That is a completed square. So completing the square means rewriting quadratic so that it contains one of these here. So for example, let's say we've got the expression x squared plus 2x. Now if I wanted to rewrite that containing a complete square like that, well, there's definitely going to be an x there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to half this number here and put that in the bracket. I'm going to show you why I've done that now. So if I multiply this bracket out, I get x squared plus 2x plus 1. Well, brilliant. I wanted x squared. There they are there. Then I've got 2x. They match as well. And that's all I had. But there's this extra plus 1 here that I don't want. This expression here has an extra 1 that this left-hand side doesn't have. So they can't possibly be equal as claimed. So what I'm going to do now to adjust for that is take 1. And now the left-hand side and the right-hand side are truly equal. This gives x squared plus 2x plus 1. Then takes that extra 1 away, leaving me with that. So I've completed the square. So it's a good idea now to try another. So let's try x squared take 6x. And you might want to pause this and have a go at this yourself, but we want to complete the square for that expression there, i.e. write it with a square bracket in it, and usually involves taking away a number at the end as well. So x plus something squared, then usually take a number. So remember, we get the number in the bracket by halving this. So that'd be x minus 3 squared. So this here would multiply out to x squared minus 6x, brilliant. But there's going to be an extra plus 9 there when we multiply these brackets out. So this side is currently 9 too heavy. So we take that 9 away again. Then it weighs exactly the same amount as that one. This is now x squared minus 6x. So let's have a look at a question now that employs this method. And there's the question there. So it says express x squared plus 6x plus 11 in the form x plus a squared plus b. So we're going to do that. And you might want to pause this now. But the first thing I'm going to do is concentrate on those first two terms there. I'm going to complete the square for those first two terms. So I know I get x plus 3 squared. That gives me x squared plus 6x plus 9. So I don't want that extra 9. So I'm going to take it away again. So now the underlined part there is equal to the underlined part in the question. They are equal. They are exactly the same thing. The bit that I've underlined in the question is equal to the bit I've underlined here. Then tagged on the end is a plus 11. Which is equal to, if I now gather all the like terms, x plus 3 squared plus 2. And there I've done it, I've written it in the required form. So remember, complete the square for the first two terms, then tag the number on at the end and simplify. Right, so part B says, hence sketch the graph of y equals x squared plus 6x plus 11, stating the coordinates of the vertex on your diagram. So basically that's asking us to sketch a quadratic. So a bit of a tip, draw the curve first, then place the axis on it. So the vertex is the maximum or minimum of a quadratic. So in this case, we're talking about a minimum because the quadratic is U-shaped. It's a correct way around quadratic. So that's the curve. Y equals x squared plus 6x plus 11, which also can be written as that there. So the coordinates of the vertex are always the x value that makes the bracket equal 0. So in this case, x equals -3. The x value that would make this squared bracket equal 0. Then the bit on the outside, as it is the y coordinate. So x equals -3, what makes the bracket 0. And then the y coordinates, the bit on the outside. And that's always the coordinates of the vertex of a quadratic when completing the square. So if that's -3, 2, the x value -3, I can see that that's a sensible place to put the y-axis. And if we want to have y coordinate 2, this is a sensible place to put the x-axis. And we can see because of the equation here that the y-intercept is going to be 11. So I'm just going to mark that on there, 11. And there's parts A and B done. So let's move on to a slightly more complicated version of completing the square now. One where the number in front of x squared isn't 1. So the ones we've done so far have all had the coefficient of x squared being 1. Let's move on to a more complicated version where the number isn't necessarily 1. So here's the example here. It says express 2x squared minus 16x plus 37 in that form there, a x plus p squared plus q. And as stated before, the difference between this example and the previous ones is that the coefficient of x squared here is not 1. In fact, in this case, it's 2. We only know how to complete the square when the coefficient of x squared is 1, so we're going to have to do something about that. And what we're going to do, and you may want to pause this if you think you know what to do and have a go at it, but what we're going to do is take out a factor of 2 from the first two terms. And I see every single year that I teach a class, students that don't do this step think they can do it all in their head, and every single time they get it wrong. So don't be like them. Do it exactly as I'm showing you now. I'm using big straight brackets there because what I'm going to do later is use some curly brackets as well. So in the bracket now goes x squared minus 8x, and on the outside is a plus 37. So convince yourself first of all that that is the same as this here, that we're not changing any of the terms at all, we're just representing what we're being given. And what we're going to do now, we're going to complete the square only for this bit in the straight brackets. So we've got a 2, then some straight brackets, and that becomes x minus 4 squared minus 16 with a plus 37 on the outside. And maybe just to save space, because space is at a premium when you're doing an exam paper, write it like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the straight brackets but leave the curvy brackets as they are. So I'm going to do 2 times that and 2 times that, so equals 2 lots of the curvy brackets. Take 2 times 16 plus 37, which finally is equal to 2x minus 4 squared plus 5. And there we have it. We've written a complete square form again. But the key here was making sure that we only complete the square for something that did have a coefficient of 1. So take out a factor from the beginning. Must do all of those steps. As I say, year on year, I see students forget to do that and get it wrong. So do it exactly as I've shown you and all will be well. So part B, hence sketch the graph of that there. Labelling the coordinates of the vertex on the graph. Well, roughly speaking, it's going to have that shape there. And we know the minimum is going to be the x value that makes this bracket 0, so x equals 4. And the y coordinate is going to be the number on the outside there. So this number here doesn't affect the coordinates of the vertex. So there we have it, 4, 5. And then we can place the axis around it. So something like that there is a realistic representation of it. And we can see that the y-intercept, if we have a look back at the equation originally, is plus 37. So let's just mark that on as well. Even though we weren't asked, it's easy enough to do, so let's play it safe. So that's part B. And then finally part C, state the equation of the tangent of the graph that touches the vertex. So that's going to be this line here that I'm about to draw on there. This is the line that it's talking about there. The vertex, the tangent to the vertex. So that's a horizontal line. So it has equation of the form y equals. And we can see that it passes through 4, 5, so the y coordinate must be 5. So the line y equals 5 is the tangent. So there we have it. So let's put this into practice and do a final example. So there it is there. Express 7 plus 4x minus x squared in that form there is part A. So let's do that. So again, the number in front of x squared isn't 1. So we're going to have to employ the same technique that we did before. If you want to have a go at this yourself, pause it. But I'll continue. So the first thing I'm going to do is write it in a nice order. I'm used to seeing the x squared term first, then the x term, then the number term. And as stated before, the number in front of x squared isn't 1. So we're going to take out a factor. We're going to take out a factor of minus 1. Like that. So we're left with a quadratic that has coefficient of x squared 1 ready to complete the square with. So that's equal to minus, and I'll not write the 1 anymore, I'll just leave the minus. And using curvy brackets, I will complete the square. So x minus 2 squared, take 4. And now convince yourself that this bit here in the straight brackets is exactly the same as this bit in the straight brackets. And then there's a plus 7 tagged on at the end. Multiplying out the straight brackets now, we get minus x minus 2 squared plus 4 plus 7, and then finally equals minus x minus 2 squared double minus 4 plus 7 equals 11 minus x minus 2 squared. And there we have it, we've completed the square. So the key here was to take out the factor of negative 1 at the front there. Right, part B, hence determine the roots of the equation 7 plus 4x minus x squared equals 0. So solving that, well, having it in complete square form is really, really useful. So we'll use our answer to the first part, like that. 11 minus x minus 2 squared is the left-hand side. We prove that that's equal to this here, equals 0. So let's take the x plus 2 squared to the other side. So we get 11 equals x minus 2 squared. Rooting both sides, we get, well, on the left-hand side, plus or minus root 11. Must remember the plus or minus equals just x minus 2. Then rearranging that, we get x equals 2 plus or minus root 11. Just want to make that look more like an equal sign there. X equals 2 plus or minus root 11. Now moving on to part C, hence sketch the graph of y equals 7 plus 4x minus x squared, marking the coordinates of the vertex and any intercepts with the coordinate axes on your graph. Well, let's first of all draw a set of axes, and there they are there. And the vertex we can see from the complete square form. As we learned before, has the coordinates 2, 11, and we know that the roots are 2 plus or minus root 11. So I'm just going to check in the calculator whether they're positive or negative to make sure that the graph is accurate. So 2 minus root 11 is potentially negative, which we can see it is there. So one's on the positive side and one's on the negative side. So that's roughly minus 1.31, 2 plus root 11. I can see it's roughly 5.32, so about there. So it's going to look like this. And notice that the coefficient of x squared is negative, so it's going to be a negative quadratic. So marking on the vertex, we get 2, 11. Marking on the coordinates of the points of intersection, we get 2 plus root 11, 0. And this one is 2 minus root 11, 0. And finally the y-intercept as well. We can see from the original equation that that's just 7. So 0, 7 is the y-intercept. And there we have it. We've sketched the graph showing all intersections with the axes and marked on the vertex. And finally part D, state the equation of the line of symmetry of the graph, where it's the line going straight down the middle here, which is x equals 2. And there we have it, question done. So now have a go at the worksheet, do every question, check every answer as you go.